Peace, 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 love and light to you. Ah, this is Eden Rose. Eden Rose is a way of life, and I am Damri Al-Ma'at. I am doing another back-to-back live reading. This is going to be specifically about just checking in with the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine energies. So yeah, I'm just going to jump into it. I'm going to pull a few cards first for both the Divine Masculine and Feminine energies, and then I'll read. Ooh. So this is the energy of the Divine Masculine. Don't mind me. I'm just kind of focusing to make sure that I'm pulling the right energy. Nope. What is with these cards today? Okay. Now for the Divine Feminine. It's like a mumbo jumbo of lots of energy coming through. Like the cards do not want to be still. They're all jumpy. Lots of messages coming through. So this is, just to clarify, this is a message from the Divine Masculine and a message from the Divine Feminine to the opposite counterpart. Energy updates. Trying to figure out where each energy is, where they're tuned in, what they're focused on. All right. Just gonna shuffle. I usually don't pull the cards like this, but for some reason today, that's what I'm being called towards, so bear with me. One more card, please. Two more cards. Three more cards. All right. So we're going to start with, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's start with the Divine Masculine, because why not? So right out of the gate, the Divine Masculine is thinking about, he's thinking about his future. He's thinking about his family, his family in the future. He's thinking about how that all comes together. His energy is very much in the space of becoming who he needs to be in order to play the right role in this, vision he has of his future. But right now, even though he has that sort of vision in his mind, Divine Masculine is very much feeling stagnant, and as if there isn't very much energy that he's capable of putting into this vision and its manifestation. So he's kind of feeling not stuck, but just at a standstill. So perhaps he's taken a break, an intentional break. It could be intentional or unintentional. I think that maybe that will be answered a little bit more within the tarot, but um, his energy is just very standstill. It's at a standstill. He's wanting to move forward, but there's something that's keeping him from being able to move forward. But his mind space is completely filled with this idea and this vision that he has of himself in the future. It's just that he feels really far away. It's like the movement that he has toward this future, the actions that he's taking towards attaining this future, they're kind of at this very slow moving space where they're not really being watered. Nothing's being nourished. It's there. The vision is there, but he's not nourishing the vision. Let's start with this one. Yeah, his mind space is very much on the divine feminine and where he's envisioning her, how he's envisioning her, who he's envisioning her to be right now. But it's a very unrealistic. It's a very unrealistic view that he has of her. He sees her as this, like the epitome of abundance and youthfulness and life and creation. Um, and also regality and wealth. He views her as this very wealthy energy. And so with his energy being so in this space of kind of like dryness, nothing's really happening, nothing's being watered, it's all just very stale and gray, desert like. Um on the flip side of things, he's or not on the flip side, but he's kind of comparing himself to his divine feminine right now and saying, she's so fruitful and full of zest and life and all of these great things, except, I'm over here wanting this space with her, wanting to create this village and this family with her, but he's kind of just like stuck. He's just stuck. He's stuck in this space of stagnancy, and I'm not sure he knows. Well, he knows how to get out of it. He's being given the tools to get out of it himself. Where he was sort of working on things just internally by himself, he's now going to be stepping into the energy of accepting guidance from outside of himself. But the guidance that he's actually accepting is, excuse me, a lot of times when I channel, it comes through with yawning. What he's accepting is his intuition, his ability to receive messages from the universe and then interpret those messages. So he's receiving his own unique conversation or language that he has with creation. And while he's doing that, he's just he's cut off from this energy. So now, first he's seeing her as this very abundant, energy, the divine feminine. First, the divine masculine is seeing her as this very abundant energy that's very fruitful. I'm almost seeing pregnancy, like her creative abilities are just so huge. And now at the end of the reading, he's kind of seeing her throughout his transition out of this desertish type of energy. He is viewing his divine feminine as sort of like ahead of the game, where she's like a season ahead. He's playing catch up, so he's feeling like he's cut off from their happily ever after. He also has a lot of options right now. He has the option to go through with this, and he has the option to not go through with this. And either way, whatever he decides, and by go through with it, I mean step forward towards his divine feminine, because right now it's as if, like, because of how wacky his view is of her, and so sort of off kilter. It's not accurate. Parts of it is accurate, but his view of his feminine is very like, ooh, up in the clouds kind of thing. It's his imagination. So because of that, it's just not a very it's not a very realistic place to try to be making decisions from, really. Um, and the divine masculine needs to now kind of step out of this space of indecisiveness and not really sure which way to choose, because he kind of recognizes everything. He's being gifted, like I said, um, he's been gifted the ability to discern intuitively. So right now he's kind of just turning his back a little bit and refusing to recognize that this desert energy is now passing. And he's a little bit reluctant to receive the knowledge that he's receiving from creation in order to, make this decision he needs to make about moving forward toward his feminine. But until he makes that decision, um the energy for their union, the energy where they are, together and expanding, as a unit, two bodies but one soul, working together on all aspects of life, so in all realms, that part of this experience is going to be cut off for him, until he steps out of this indecisive energy. So what I'm seeing here is, what he's saying is that he's in this desert energy where everything's dry and there isn't really anything being watered, but the truth is that he's actually forcing himself into this position. He's refusing to, step out of the desert. He's refusing to recognize that, this energy of his feminine is such that he's going to be able to kind of ride her wave, and he's not wanting to ride her wave. He's kind of just wanting to ride his wave, and he's okay right now with cutting things off. He's okay with things being not turned on. He doesn't want them to be done. He's not finished with them. But what he's saying is right now there isn't any energy being poured into the union where he's concerned. He is only pouring that energy into, let's see, because it's almost like the decision that he needs to make is between whether or not he pours his energy in further into the feminine or into these other options that he has. Yeah, it's a battle between his past and his future. So he's on the fence right now. Divine masculine is really sitting on the fence. He is, trying to decide what it is that he's going to do, and he doesn't know. He recognizes the union, he recognizes the passion, he recognizes even that he has all of these options, but right now he's like, oh well, I need to keep looking at the options, even though the signs and synchronicities that he's receiving, the messages that are in his mind is always on his feminine. His love is so great and grand for her. His focus is so much on her in many ways, but it's in this background way where he's kind of shoving it back and cutting off the connection, and allowing what already has manifested to block what could become manifest. So he is in stagnation mode, which is crazy because I don't get any hermit cards, which means he's not in transition or he's not in transformation. He's literally beyond the hermit stage. He's just like lingering there on purpose because he's afraid to move out of it or something. I don't know. It's a very interesting space to be in. It's like avoidance, but in this non-avoiding way. But eventually he's going to have to, make the decision. He's going to have to. He's going to have to make the decision and, um, decide whether or not he's going to step forward towards his feminine. But as of right now, there is no movement, absolute stagnation. Divine feminine, on the other hand, is making big freaking moves. So the divine feminine has come into a space now where she's completely in knowing, where herself, who she is, what her divine, um, her divine mission is here, um, not just in this lifetime, but as a soul, as a being. Um, she's she knows exactly what she's needing to do and where she's needing to go, what she's supposed to be putting her energy towards. She has now made a vow internally, not on the three-dimensional space, but in this five-dimensional space, very sort of, I shouldn't say 5D, the unseen realms. Okay. In the unseen realms, she's recognizing their union. She's also lived through this period of time where the union is, well, on the earth plane, the union is very much in darkness. So it isn't being brought to light, but there's light all around it. It's like it's like this, imagine a flame, twin flames, duh, but imagine a flame in darkness, in a completely, in a complete dark room with no light source anywhere. That's what it's like. It's like she's seeing the flame within the darkness. All of a sudden this spark kind of came, but um there's no light in the space between the spark and everywhere else. It's like it's not manifest. The light isn't coming to fruition in this realm. It's only being seen in the unseen realm. So the flame hasn't, grown large enough to be able to come down and manifest into the flesh. So she's recognizing that the union is there. It's not even just, excuse me, that she needs to attain union here physically. She recognizes that there's already union. So there isn't anything physically that she can now do. She's already been through all of the, lessons of not knowing, or wanting, or chasing, if you will, her divine masculine. And now she's at the point where she doesn't need to chase him anymore. She doesn't want to. She's not interested in it, because she's in a space where she's knowing herself, she's knowing her mission, so she wants to put energy and effort into that. And she's also recognized their union as something that just is. So she doesn't need, divine feminine, you don't need the you're not needing the confirmation of the physical manifestation to believe in the union anymore. So whatever actually manifests here, it's just kind of, this came reversed. It's just kind of, you know, something that you're just accepting, or she's just accepting. So divine feminine is actually shifted. There's a lot of, these are super transformational type energies, but she's shifted in this beautiful space where, all of her geometries, all of her energy um, is aligned with, at the right angles with itself, in order to be able to, achieve this particular frequency of groundedness and of creation. Her kundalini is slowly rising, and so she's really transformed and stepped into a totally different light. She isn't hiding the truth from herself anymore. So she's allowing things to pass that are of no use to her, are of no value. And by value, I just mean, are they serving her? Are they serving a purpose? You know, are they serving a purpose? She's releasing things that don't have any purpose, or don't have any value anymore in her life and in the lives of the people that she loves. And, so she's making choices that have to do with the greater good for all. And that's sort of the shift that she's made. She's allowing things to fall out of her space that need to. So towers for her are more like learning lessons, rather than this, big, shaky, earth shattering type of experience. Um, she's allowing the towers to occur naturally. Um, she's getting over her heartbreak. She was very, very heartbroken, over how things have gone with the masculine, and with her own life, especially having to do with the masculine, but also in her own life. She's been really disappointed and really heartbroken over all of the things that have sort of transpired. And now finally she's getting past that heartbroken energy, and transforming it into this gnosis where, I know that there's love, I know that this is divine union, I know that it's already there and it already exists. So I don't necessarily need it in order to find balance and happiness here, which is great. It's a huge jump and shift. Yeah. She's recognizing these cards are all exactly what I just said. She's recognizing that whatever needs to shift manifestationally, which is the physical realm, right? When I say manifestation, that's what I mean, physical realm. She's recognizing that the shift that needs to occur is not something that she's going to be able to manipulate. It's like she's releasing the need to try to manifest this, and she's just allowing and letting what will be will be. Que sera sera. That came through earlier. Feminine is like, what am I going to do about it? So she's just kind of letting things rock how they rock. She recognizes that it's not necessarily an ending. It's just, it's just what it is. Right now in the physical realm, things haven't aligned in a way that allows for union. And so she's just accepting of that. And she's, still committed to the union. She's still committed to doing her part and offering, her authentic energy. But beyond that, she's still feeding the union, but she's not waiting for it to manifest physically in space. So that's a really great space to be divine feminine. And if you are watching this and you're a divine feminine, then I'm sure that stepping out of that obsessive energy is something that you have been waiting for. And this is the beginning of that, stepping out of that energy. So congratulations. Congratulation, I should say. Congratulations. So I'm just going to pull some cards for the energy between the both, the energy for the union and where it's at now. And then I will close out. Anything else? No, this is it. Yeah, so the web is being laid. The patterns of union, the angles, the geometry of this union is being set up in higher realms of existence between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And what's happening is they are creating the template up there. And what's happening now is just the time between, that creation up there and it being able to be manifest physically is what we're sort of in the middle of right now. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, I know it's like it's so I'm definitely channeling the collective of hi, do I say Nitra? That's a cool name, by the way. Yeah, I've been feeling that shift in energy myself. It was kind of like this for me, it was a lot of sadness that came through and tons of sadness and recognition. I almost had to realize again that my heart had been broken to a degree. And it was like, whoa. And then all of a sudden, within 24 hours, the energy just shifted. So I'm definitely reading into that today. I'm glad that it's spot on for you. Yeah, because it's been wild. But yeah, right now what's really happening is, that patience that the divine feminine has sort of stepped into that space of, well, it's not like you're forcing yourself to, care if it happens, but or care or not care, excuse me. She's no longer forcing herself to not care. She's genuinely not caring, or not caring isn't the right words. What am I wanting to express here? What is being expressed? She's in the space of not needing. She's not needing the connection. She's recognizing it. She even recognizes the pain that it creates. And she's just being. She's really stepping into the space of being, and it's beautiful. And that's allowing for the templates to now really, become denser and anchor into the earth plane. So her transformation is really what's kind of given the energy this go ahead to be able to shift and now move into the third dimension. So for everybody, of course, it's going to be different timing. Union could take a year, union can take a month, union can take a week, union could take 10 years. None of us know, and this is a general reading. So really what needs to be done is just a continuation of focusing on your own energy, whether you're the divine feminine or the divine masculine. It's important for both parties to be able to step into their authentic selves right now. And by allowing that light to shine through, you're going to be in alignment more and more with the higher self. And as far as I know, there's a higher self. This is my own experience. There's a higher self that I have that is me, that is mine, an energy that comes through as a persona that I experience as closer to my own vibrational frequency. And then there's a higher self that is my twins. Um, it has a totally different frequency. And then there's an even, it's like I don't know if it's an accumulation of both or if it's a totally different mind space, or it's just, who knows? I can't give words to it because the words that I want to use are words that aren't in reality. Like I don't have the words to explain how big this is, but or how it comes together. But I don't know if it's both consciousness together, or if it's just our one soul speaking to me directly. But I get interaction and communication from both aspects, or all three aspects. So myself, his self, and then our self. And in those interactions, what I've noticed is that um, the energy is now starting to get a little bit balanced. I'm receiving messages. Before, the messages from my masculine were way different from the messages I was receiving from my higher self. So now those are starting to balance out a little bit, and I think it's kind of reflective of this energy. Um, the divine masculine is saying how, or his reading was saying how, his energy is really starting to balance out. Earlier, I'm sort of linking this reading to a reading that I did maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes ago, where the energy was balanced. I'm feeling like that was a little bit of a sneak peek of the divine masculine energy that I was tapping into, because it kind of feels the same. He's really trying to achieve this. Yeah, letting it go and flowing, you're right. But divine masculine's really trying to achieve this balancing for himself. Some of them are doing a great job, some of them aren't doing such a great job, some of them are not recognizing that they're doing a great job. There's all different degrees, but they are trying to achieve this balance, whatever it is, whatever their demon is, whatever that thing is that they're working toward achieving. They're trying to achieve a balance in that space. So as they do that, and divine feminine, as as the divine feminine equalizes herself and comes into this space of everything being at peace, regardless of what manifests physically, they're both doing their part in allowing for the energy to align with what's above. So as above, so below. You just have to wait. Down here, it's dense. It takes a while for things to manifest, so patience is necessary. So keep on keeping on, and both the divine feminine and divine masculine, do what you're doing. It's important, it's imperative. And I think that's it. So that's all that I have. Love, peace, and light to you. I hope that was helpful in some way. And I'm going to be off and do a quick little reboot meditation, because I'm feeling a little bit drained. These these energies. You're very welcome. These energies are pretty intense today, so I'm going to do a quick meditation, and I think I may jump back on to do one more reading. There may be a channeled message that wants to come through, so I haven't decided yet, but we'll see. Anyhow, peace and love to you. Bye.